I'm Dr. Linda Gromko, and this is Transgender Medicine Made Simple. Today we're looking at a question of the week, and that question is, at what age should you stop taking gender-affirming estradiol? Or more importantly, should you stop taking hormones at all? Let's tackle this controversial question in 3 simple points. I'm not claiming to answer it, we'll just tackle it. Point number 1, estradiol and testosterone levels generally change with age and the time in a cis female's menstrual cycle. So let's take a look at the values of the estradiol. This is listed from LabCorp, the lab that I use. So in males, and I put it in quotes because here they mean cis males, the estradiol level goes from 8 to 35 picograms or picograms per mil. In cis females, they vary from according to the time in the menstrual cycle. So in the follicular stage, the estradiol level goes from 12 to 200 picograms per mil. In the mid-cycle peak when ovulation occurs, it's 120 to 375 picograms per mil. In the luteal phase, just after ovulation, 50 to 260 picograms per mil. And in postmenopausal cis females, the level of estradiol is under 10 to 20 picograms per mil, depending on the laboratory technique. Now, point number 2, the estradiol level varies according to the menstrual cycle. So this would apply to menstruating or reproductive age cis females. So at the top of this chart, you can see what's happening in the ovary. So here a follicle is developing. When it's matured, it releases an egg in what's called ovulation. That follicle kind of degenerates as the corpus luteum. And so we have the follicular stage, the ovulatory phase, and the luteal phase here. And you can see what happens is that estradiol will vary according to where you are in this phase. It's highest in the pre-ovulatory phase here, just before the egg is released. And by the way, you may notice too that progesterone, here shown in the black, is highest during the post-ovulatory phase. And this is where some trans women will alter their progesterone level. What they'll do is they will take estrogen the whole time, the whole month, and then for the last 2 weeks, mimicking the luteal phase, they will take progesterone as well. Many other trans women will simply take estrogen and progesterone through the entire cycle, and I'm not going to suggest that one is better or worse. Point number 3, estradiol is much lower after a cis female reaches menopause. The bodily changes in menopause include a decrease in bone density that could lead to bone thinning or osteopenia, or even osteoporosis, which is severe bone thinning leading to fracture risk. There may be vasomotor symptoms like hot flashes or night sweats. You can have genital dryness, so the vaginal tissues are drier and can be more uncomfortable for penetrative sex. Remember that trans males who have vaginas will also have genital dryness as well because their hormonal milieu is more testosterone and less estrogen dominant. Now, the bottom line with all medications is to have the desired effects with little or no side effects or risks. Should trans women mimic cis women in their hormone levels as they age? Well, not necessarily and not clearly. There may be a different answer for each individual. This is clearly a question that requires case-by-case consideration. So talk to your healthcare provider about the best answer for your body. I hope this information is helpful for you, but I think it may have muddied the waters rather than clarified them. If you have a question that you would like to submit, please do so in the comment section below. If this information was helpful, please like this video and do subscribe to my channel, Transgender Medicine Made Simple. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.